All right, welcome to this session. I believe by now you know how to install Photoshop and then you know how to open into a new project. So we will want to open the project that we worked on the other time. This was what we were doing the other time. So it's either you select this or you select this one. So let's select this. Now, today we'll be learning about things here, what they mean, and some things here. I will only be speaking generally about it because the next video we will go much details into them. The first thing that you see here is the home key, and I have used Photoshop for long, but I've never clicked here because I don't want to go home. I want to stay outside. All right, so the first tool here is the move tool. The move tool is what we normally use to select anything on our project. So if you have something on your project like this and you want to move it, you go for the move tool. That is it. The second thing here is a rectangular mogul, and this tool is used either you want to select a rectangle, you want to select an elliptical, that is, you say a circular. These are the main two that we normally use. So if I want to select some part of this place, I can select it like this. Okay, let's say I want to cut it, so cut it. Let's do it this way. Control X is what cut is about, so you cut it. But unfortunately you cannot cut it because it's not a rasterized thing. But let's say you want to add a different color to this place, you have to select it. If you want to select this place, you have to select this. If you want to select this place, you want to select it. Maybe you want to do something to affect only that place, you use this one. In a situation whereby you want the circular tool, you select the circle and then you go around it. It's not something for the beginners though, but you can try your hands on as you know what it is. Now the next tool that we will this is a selection tool. That is what I want us to know. So right now we have selected this place. If you want to deselect it, you can come to select and then you can select deselect, then it will deselect it. The next tool is the lasso tool. It also helps in selecting. So if you want to select something, you hold it and then you drag it around what you want to select. Normally they are used for removing backgrounds and other things. So you select it around what you want to deselect. You get it? Good. So all the tools here have their uses, but I will not be talking about them in this video. But what I want you to do, that any other tool that you want to do, so right now that you selected this one, you come to select and then you deselect. Good. The shortcut for deselect is Control D. Control D. So that is it for this one. We have the spot healing, we have the cropping, we have the eraser, we have the gradient, we have the blur, we have the dodge, we have the pen tool, one of the great tools. We have the type. If you want to type, you select the type, then you come click on where you want to type it and then you type whatever that you want to type. So that is also another thing. And then we have shapes. If you want to draw any shape, you can draw it like this. Or maybe if you right click it, you can see a whole lot of things. Now when you look at these things here, there are some of them, let me say all of them, with the exception of this, which is the zoom in, all of them have some rectangular thing here. So it means when you right click it, you see other things. Right clicking, you see other things. Right clicking, you see other things. Right clicking, you see other things. Right click, you see. So these are the things that we normally deal with. So you right click this, you find two things. Right click, you find them. Just the typing tool. We have types of typing. When you reach there, we will talk about most of the icons here or the tools here. So these are the tools in Photoshop. So if you're looking for any tool, just go around it. When the names will come up when you put it on it like this. You get it. I don't know other softwares, but that is how it is. That is good. And anything that you select, you find its adjustment here, mostly either here or here. You get it, either here or here. So if I select this, you see the adjustment is different. If I select this, the adjustment is different. If I select this, the adjustment is different. So here basically responds to what you select here. All right, now this edits, when you click on the file, I hope you know that we can open new, save, save as copy, revert, export. Export is also used to save as PNG, export as. So based on it, the rest, as time goes on, you will know. If let's say you are here and you want to place something here too, you can come here. We have place embedded, then you place something here. All these things will be later on talked about, but everything here must be active. Everything here must be active. So if you want to select work on the image, you come to image and then you go to adjustment and then you work on it, but there's no image here, or I have not selected an image. That is why it's like this. So the layers too, there are so many adjustments that we can make. Types, talk about that one later. Select, that is when you want to select something and there's an adjustment. So just as when we selected this thing, when you come here, you see this select has come, select inverse have come. But when we haven't selected this, you can reselect. So all issues here are associated to what? Selection. You can do color selection. We'll talk about selection later on. So let's deselect. We have filter, as we all know, blur, noise, distort, all of them, we'll talk about them. So these are the things, the interface of Photoshop. Now there is one major thing that we use is in Photoshop, especially when you are using this version. The color is here. If you want to select any color, you have chance to select the color. When you come to swatches identify the current colors you just selected. So if I come here and I select this one, you see it's here. That is what the swatches do. The gradient too, we have some already installed gradient, so we'll be also talking about it. So all these things are there to teaching you. I'm teaching you all these things so that you not find yourself wanting when we are working on it. Now, adjustment, we have brightness, level, curves. They are also especially needed in your design project if you want to change the colors. So if I click on lighten and I start changing it, you see the colors are changing. You will come to all this adjustment later on. When I choose curves and I control it, it also has its effect. You get it. So you will just be playing along with all these things, and that is it. But the most important thing is the layer. Let me bring the layer on top here. The layer shows everything that you are doing over here. If you add a dot, the layer will show. So if in case maybe you have put something like this on and you are finding it difficult to select, you can select it here and then you can work on it. So everything that you do on Photoshop, he will add it here. You see the curve that you selected. So if you want to remove something, you can come and delete it here. Delete, yes, and then you delete this one too. Yes, I want to delete this one. This one, I want to delete it. Delete. Yes. So everything that we put on comes here. Let's see. This is it. The reason why the properties comes is because, let me put the properties here. If there is a shape like this, the properties has also been activated. It means an adjustment to it. So we can do some changes here and there. We'll talk about that ones later and how to enable all of them. Okay, how do I enable them in case if I installed my app, they were not there? You come to Windows. These are the things that we need. So your workplace is essential default. If you send it to 3D, it will be something else. So actions, adjustment, properties. You see, properties have been enabled. If I disable it, properties is no more there. Windows, and then you enable it, properties are there. What again do you want to activate? I want to activate let's say ruler. Where is it? Ruler is not showing. Okay, ruler is in view, I think. Yes. So when you come to view 2, you can find ruler. When you click on the ruler, you see the ruler dimension is also there. So that is also things that you can use this tool for. We have plugins. We will reach there when the time comes. But basically, you need to know these things when you open Photoshop. You shouldn't be too scared about it. You should have a fair idea of what you are doing. We will be talking about some of the shapes or some of the tools later, but at least try your hands to go through all these things. Go through all these things to know if indeed what we've talked about is what is it. Now, maybe you want to do this thing. You see, I can select this automatically. I can select this automatically, select this automatically. Normally it is not like that. You have to come and select it here and here. But how did that happen? You see this thing here, auto select. If I unclick it, I cannot select it. You see, it's not changing here. So if I mark it, then I can select them. So if these are things that I want you to know and get your hands on them before you go to details, because I might forget telling them, saying them. Even those in advance, most of them don't know this. So there is the auto select. Show transform control. If you select something, it should show transform. I normally don't like that, but you can select it so that you show the transformation. So immediately you select that thing, the transformation is already there. Sometimes it's something else. It's advisable not to show the transformation. These things are arrangement. I have selected this. I have selected this. And how would I use these things? Align to left, align to center, align to right. You can only use them when we have selected everything here. How do I select everything? Control A. So if you select everything here, it means everything here is what you want to control. Center, left, right, up, center, beneath. You get it? So, sorry. You can only use these ones when you have selected 2 or more elements, or you've selected all. Control A. When you select Control A, it means that whatever that you are trying to control or align should be based on the whole thing. If you want to deselect, I hope you remember, it's either you go to select and click on deselect or Control D. Good. So that is it. Again, there is one zoom in method. Zoom in, you cannot do it like this. It's advisable to use mouse, external mouse, if you are doing designing, but if you are familiar with the laptop mouse too, fine. Sometimes you want to view something and you have to come to zoom, click here, and then you'll be clicking, directing it. You get it. So then you on minimize it back. If you want to maximize, you have to come here and then you have to be clicking on it. Sometimes it's exhausting. So zooming videos have a shortcut or a setting. The general setting is Control K. So this is the general setting. If you want to do any settings here, it's Control K. Now with the Control K, where to find, this is the interface. I choose to let it be as it is. The workspace, I choose to let it be as it is. The tools is where we do the zoom inside. So normally you realize that these things are unchecked when you install them. So if you want to have access to it, you have to check all of them, then you can work with it. There is another thing that you have to know here with the settings, the performance. I'm using 11,948 megabyte, that is 12. So you can choose the percentage that you want to use for Photoshop. Normally it is 70%, so you can leave it there, or you can use more, you can reduce it. All right, so that is it. And your scratch disk, I have selected Local Disk C. You can select this one too, so that in case if your scratch disk is full here, it can come and use the ones here, but this one is okay for me. So that is it. I think now we can go through the shapes in the next video. All right, if there is any question, you can ask and then we will respond to you as soon as possible. But as time goes on, we'll be discussing a whole lot of things, because I just want you to know that you can touch things and you go scot-free. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with touching them. Okay, the name is Design Logica. Both on Instagram and then on YouTube, so you can meet us there and then we are good to go. God bless you. Let's save it. Remember, before we go, Control S.